Welcome to the Call Your Cousins podcast, a podcast dedicated to exploring deep and complex topics that shape our world and human experiences. Before we dive into today's episode, we want to acknowledge the sensitive nature of some of the content we discuss. Please be advised that this podcast may include themes and discussions that could be triggering or uncomfortable for some listeners, including but not limited to discussions on mental health, violence, abuse, and other potentially distressing topics. Listener discretion is advised. Remember, this podcast is for informational and educational, but most importantly, entertainment purposes only, and should not be taken as professional advice. The views expressed by hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Call Your Cousins podcast. Enjoy the show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Whatever time you're joining us, the cousins thank you for doing so. Welcome back to the Call Your Cousins podcast, a now tangible group chat of cousins that wanted to share our thoughts, humor, and growth with the world. And everyone's invited. Most of y'all. I am your host, A-Dub, but you'll be enjoying this episode with the rest of the collective. Talk to him, P.
I'm joined today by Miss Joy.
Hey, I'm Twin, aka Miss Joy, if you're nasty.
And we also have the research team here today.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
And we are currently missing our loved and beloved and so good morning, fam. How y'all doing? 2024, new year, new us.
Is it New Year, new us, or New Year, same us?
I like to think I like growth. I have the growth mindset. I like to think that we're constantly growing, improving, becoming, evolving. How y'all feel about the new year so far?
It's been a year of grind for me. I'm tired already, but I feel like I'm seeing the fruits of my labor. And I don't know if it's New Year, new me, or just New Year like motivated me. I'm motivated to be in a different space than I'm in this year. So this time next year, hopefully, I will be in a completely separate space.
I would say for me, it's not a new year, new me. It's a same me, new perspective on things.
I like that. But then if you have a new perspective, are you the same you?
Foundationally, I think, like I'm not like a whole completely different person. I'm just going about things differently. Like I'm making different choices intentionally.
It's the intentional. Yes, I feel like it's the year of intentionality for me. And things feel a lot different when you're intentional about your goals and focusing on yourself. And I just say we got a Black mental health segment, but I want to say that self-care and focusing on yourself is hard, y'all. I be tired. You have to like actually put time in to focus on you and only you, and to revive and to make sure that you good from the world shenanigans. And sometimes I be like, I just want to start working on myself and just start robbing people. No?
That sounds like something A-Dub would say. I think Dub would definitely roll up in a blank. I didn't know that the ski masses are called poo shiesties or shiesties.
What?
Wait, what?
The rapper Shiesty Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah.
Apparently the scheme, they're banned in DC, I think, or Baltimore. Research team, look it up. Look up the Pooh Shiesty mask. Yeah. It's apparently, yeah, I could see Doug running up on somebody with that thing on.
Is that how they're referencing it though? Like that's the
I think it's called the shiesty or the
that's
pooch
the
shiesty.
marketing behind the. Okay.
I mean, I know you can't really wear them. That's a fact.
I'm putting on a balaclava, okay, for
What's
my
up?
bank heist.
What?
I think I would go straight queen. Got 4 to the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 4 to the back.
Latifah?
Yeah. What was her name in the movie?
Stony? No, that wasn't Stony.
That one's
That
Stony.
was my girl went out like a G. What was her name? Research team.
You got her working overtime already.
It's stuck on my it's on the tip of my tongue. I just watched
What you talking about? Set it off, the cat?
Latifah's name.
Hold on.
Cleo.
Yeah, I'm Cleo for sure.
You got to go out like Cleo, bro.
4 braids.
I think I'm going out like old girl. What's her name? Why can't think of nobody's name today? What the procedure when you got a gun to your head?
Oh, the one that died.
Vivica A. Fox?
They all died.
No,
Didn't they? Except for Jada.
Except for Jada.
Yeah, I'm going out like Vivica.
Nah, it wasn't Vivica. It was was it? Oh, it was Vivica, but that wasn't her. It was the little innocent looking one.
TT. That was her name.
TT. I can't go out like TT. TT got shot up in the bank, and it was an accident. It really wasn't like a real true G go out, and she didn't want to be involved anyway. I'm either going out like Cleo or Vivica. I think it's giving Vivica because Vivica was like, oh, sorry, but bleep that out. Dub. Okay, what was we talking about? Oh, top of the year. Yes, new us, new perspective, being intentional about things. Is that a good segue into?
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess we should let the listeners know who we are, right? Since top of the year, so call your cousins. You know, as the intro says, you hear the wonderful sounds of either my voice or a dub. We're actually a family, cousins, real cousins, not the cousins that you might be, cousining with, which is weird, but people do it. We're blood cousins, and we're generations of. Well, that's the beautiful thing about our family, right? Even the in-laws or people we bring into our family, it's almost like we initiate them into our clan. Almost like if there was a ritual and we had knives, it was a cult, and we just open up wide.
Whoa.
What you
got? A cult though?
I feel like cults
gang adjacent. Can we get gang adjacent?
I don't want it. I don't. Well,
cults get a bad rap.
We can't say gang now. Not with a thug.
You're right.
With slime on trial right now. Can't say gang.
Gang.
We real close. We tighten it.
I'm not involved in these gang activities. What's the attorney name? What's the old girl name that's getting all that? I'm not involved, girl. Don't include me in the RICO.
Nah, so we can't say gang. I feel like cults get away with by anything. So I say that to say we're not. The intention is to highlight that we're very close, and those of us talking on the podcast currently are 4th generation. I believe 4th and 3rd generation, actually.
I might be 5th.
Who is 3rd? Lord. We
No,
just
you
3 through
no,
5, y'all.
she would be third because her father is my grandmother's uncle. So she's first cousins with my grandma.
Right.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm earlier.
Yeah.
I'm earlier.
Yeah. She earlier than us.
I'm like, there.
Yeah. So her and my grandma are first cousins.
I'm like
That's what
second.
I thought.
Yeah, they're first cousins. So then she twin would then be first cousins with my grandma. And then she's technically second cousins with a lot of people. Yeah, she's up in the hierarchy.
I think y'all are my third. Well, P, y'all my third cousins. I think.
No, I would be your third. I would be your third.
Would that make me further down, don't it?
No, because it would be your mother is her
Your mother is my
was our
first.
first. Yeah, because her dad, your grandfather, was
Oh,
her
this is
uncle.
too much. This is too much. Oh my gosh.
But
Okay.
it's super cool. I think, I think that's a beautiful thing about our family, right? Is that we actually have the connect the dots. And it can feel a little bit like what's that game you play when you get on the floor and it's a bunch of dots?
Twister.
Yeah, and then
Twister?
then it feels like Twister a little bit, minus the incest, right? We don't have any of that
What?
going on. I've heard people say things in the world. Oh, that's my cousin, but y'all, where this is not that kind of family, y'all.
No, we're not. And I also used to hate Twister as a child because it was just too many people touching me. That was too close for me. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that you guys kind of get a feel for who we are, and always feel free to engage with us. We do have different social media platforms where you can check us out at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and our email. Our Twitter is Call Your Cousins. That's CALLYOURCOUSINS. Our Instagram is CALLYOURCOUSINSPOD, because somebody was hating. And we have our YouTube at Call Your Cousins, where we will be going live. We will be streaming. Holla at us, pull up on us. And please send us your feedback, emails, questions, anything at callyourcousinspod@gmail.com. So yeah, let's just get into it. Like I said, we're missing A-Dub this evening, this morning, this afternoon. He is currently on them people job, but that's life, right? And so we just want to let y'all know we're going to be committed to putting something out to the streets on a consistent basis. So be sure to check us out. And we have some interesting segments for you guys today for this show. And it really always starts with good morning, fam. I mean, that's the preface of this podcast. Is we actually have a actual chat that we just be kicking and showing out in all the time with our family. I think it's about 16 cousins in it. And then there's obviously the side chats to the side chats to the side chats, which is hilarious. But we all love each other and it's all in good fun. So
Side chats allegedly.
the side chats got receipts, bruh.
Allegedly.
I feel like I'm more of a side chat kind of girl because
we know. You have side chats with all your different personalities. Like,
correct.
you be talking to everybody with different versions of Twin.
And okay, Twin is multifaceted. I need multiple different perspectives and opinions because sometimes that main chat with 50 people in it, y'all be talking about people I don't like, and I don't have a mental space in 2024. So,
well,
chat me.
I keep the chats on D&D anyways. I tune in when I need to. You know what's interesting though? The other day when I was in the chat, I told everybody to go get, make sure their health is wealth, and go make sure they get their STI testing, and got a few
You
loves in
did?
there. I did. I
I'm not
feel
in
like
there.
you are.
You must put it in originals because I'm not in there.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. It's too many side chats. I don't know. I don't know. But I thought to myself, maybe I stepped on some toes. But hey, I think you should just practice good health and wealth. I mean, how often do people don't realize you should actually get tested for these types of things every 3 months, even if you're in a monogamous relationship or you're active. And the crazy thing is, every time I go, they ask me, well, how many partners have you been with? And
What? They don't never ask me that.
I start saying self.
Okay.
And they're like, so you haven't had it? I'm like, no. And they're like, so why are you here today? Because I got to know.
Ma'am, I need to be sure, ma'am.
I have to know. Every 3 months, I just got to go and aggravate them people. And every time I get my little pings and my emails, new lab result, and I see negative on all boards, I'm like, this is a good thing. So just, remember, people, the streets is streeting.
The streets will be streeting.
Please, please, please take care of yourself. But let's go ahead and jump into the show. This show, as we're recording, is at the top of the year. And I think, when we think about, I kind of love that for Black people, it starts with King, right? And I'm over Black History Month. And I'm going to explain. Clearly, the American society feels that there was no slavery, there is no racism in America. And I exhale. And I breathe in. And I think I'm just going to give it raw 12 months out of the year this year. Because if that's true, why would we even need a Black History Month?
I feel like I am over MLK Day. And I'm going to explain. I'm also over Black History Month, and I'm going to explain that as well. I feel like we've lost sight of what MLK Day is supposed to mean. And now it's just a bunch of flyers with MLK and gold chains on and stuff talking about free before 9. And it's like, is that really what the weekend is about? When I was at my old job, and I feel this is partly white people shenanigans, but I also supported it because instead of a day off, the entire company had a day of service that everybody had to join in. And it was always, some Black community or group or whatever. And we would spend the entire day, of service to them. And it was mandatory. And not that I feel like companies should do that in lieu of an off day, because we do deserve. But I feel like we got away from using our off days to really honor what Dr. King had in mind. You know what I'm saying? And I see people on the pulpit, we ain't gonna mention no names, on King Day talking all that stuff that they're not necessarily embodying. And they killed that man. You know what I'm saying? And so I really feel like we have kind of just shied away from the true meaning behind Dr. King and his legacy and what he wanted us to accomplish as Black people. And now it's just a day off where we just F around and go to the club. And I feel similarly about Black History Month. I feel like it's never been enough. And I don't, like we were talking about being intentional at the top of the top of the podcast. We're not intentional enough about Black History Month. We'd be like, what? Black History Month, let's go out to the club and get some hookah. But do we ever say, you know what, I'm going to do something intentional every day of Black History Month to educate somebody or to show my, gratitude for those that came before me and paved the way? Do we ever do that? Go ahead, P. I see your hand up.
So I'm calling for a revolution, right? I'm calling for what Beyonce wanted us to do when she put out Formation, right? And you're absolutely right. And I think that the biggest issue is there is a level of reteaching and retooling and reimagining what it truly means to be a Black person or a person of color or a person that's underserved or a person that is disabled or a person that is not like anything other than white in this country, has to start to rethink about all those things, right? Because life comes at you fast and you really go through the motions. And most people don't live with the level of intentionality that you're talking about. So even when you talk in regards to MLK, a lot of people don't even have that holiday off anymore. You know why? Because of Juneteenth. And companies
That's
decide,
very true.
at the top of their budget, what days they're going to give you off and what days they're not going to give you off. And we've martyred King in such a way now that he's this mythical figure when it was flesh and blood, and you could really learn a lot about his life through his not only teachings but how he dealt with other people in the movement. And when I say other people in the movement, I mean Black women. And I think that King Day serves so many different purposes, right? And that's why I would say the intention behind us having our show at the top of the year and it revolving around thinking about King is because I love that it is in January, as a January baby, obviously. Mhm. You have to really look at his life and actually educate yourself on it. I did enjoy, however, how the FBI put out an MLK tweet and Twitter came for their neck.
What they put?
So the FBI, the Twitter. So Twitter went through an entire whistleblowing process of how and her name is I believe no, her last name is actually, but she was one of the people who really, was the whistleblowers on how like a lot of the stuff that happened with Trump being elected, was filtered through Twitter, misinformation basically. And so now they have those little notes on like if this is true or if this is false, and then you can go and vote to see if it was accurate or not. And sure enough, they had a little tweet that said "Happy MLK Day," and then the little sub note was the FBI actively hunted, surveyed.
The FBI actively participated in the assassination.
And I rolled over because this is what I'm talking about, right? Is this level of reckoning, right? Where we cannot allow corrective action now, candor now. And I love the part that you said where the intention for white people to honor King is no different for them than to tick off going to Whole Foods on the weekend. Yeah. It's really not. And I don't think we need to hold them to such scrutiny as well because of that reason. It is they don't, other than maybe Christmas, I don't, and 4th of July, it's not a holiday for them in that pretense because, I mean, at most they can't go to the bank, right? And I don't, yeah, because I think the banks are still not open. And so, it just draws to the secondary thing of Black History Month, where it's it's these ideologies of the things that people are saying now in this current election of, this almost gaslighting and disdainfully, and I say disdainfully because it's borderline disgusting how you can just deny or claim or make claims that these things aren't true. Truth as in slavery, truth as in racism, discrimination. I mean, it's
Well,
almost as if the 60s didn't happen. Because the reason why I say that is like I can handle someone saying we didn't go to the moon. I'm gonna look at them a little while, but that's your right. If you don't think we went to the moon, cool. But there are photos of said Martin Luther King Jr., doctor, marching, other activists getting bust down in their face, right? Like, so if that wasn't racism, what was it? It's almost like when I tell y'all, for the listeners, I subscribe to the notion that Black men don't cheat. I do. Because when I do catch a Black man cheating, I'm going to ask the question, so what is this? And I want a real answer. And I'm going to accept that answer.
There is no real answer.
There is no answer. So back to...
But I think like what you were saying goes to what our girl Natasha Alford was saying on CNN. I think you sent the link before this about DeSantis saying it's not a racist country. And I think it's just white people don't have, to them, slavery happened and now it's over and now we're all equal and we all have the same chances. But to us, like our girl Natasha was saying, girl, my last name came from my slave masters. That didn't come from my family that has just been around for generations. Like, I don't know my original name or any of that. So for you to be like, all that over, it's like, no, bro. I can there's a lot of us who can actively trace our lineage to slaves. Here is my last name, French. Okay?
Right.
Girl, that is clear. And then when I be talking to white people, they be like, are you French? Girl, stop it. You know damn well where the name came from. And it was from y'all. But they're in denial and they don't live the same reality, which I'm going to talk about later in one of my segments. They just don't live the same reality. And there's no reason for them to try to even see things from our perspective. You know what I'm saying? They in La La Land talking about we might be related because our last name. Girl, you mean your family own mine? What are you? Anyway, go ahead, research team. I see your hand up.
Yes, I was just going to reiterate kind of what you said when it comes to the Wahites perspective and point of view. They don't ever have to live as a Black person. They never have to walk into a room and them only ones or them not being mirrored in some way, shape, or form. They're never the minority, realistically speaking. So they just don't even have, I think they don't even have the capacity sometimes to even think in that way. And I think it's important for those who are allies to kind of share their thought process and points of view with others, because there is a genuine disconnect that they just almost can't fathom, like life being like that crazy or that rough, i.e. DeSantis with this whole Florida slavery, like just the disconnect. And I don't even know what ethnicity DeSantis is, but there's just so many layers to him as to I don't understand how he's doing what he does.
You know, it's it's you brought up an incredible point, which was the allyship. The allyship is so crucial, right? And I think that gives us the great opportunity, since this is breaking news, to talk about Stryker's donation to Spelman. And
Let's
that's a
just go ahead and let's
that's a
just.
white woman.
It's a
Woo-hoo.
white lady. She's been on the board of trustees for Spelman since 1997. Okay, this white lady. So
And
when they had to give that Cosby money back, they was like, "But that ain't no problem. Ain't no problem.
and
We good over here."
you know, it's and they've given considerable donations to other PWIs as well as Harvard and Western Michigan, I believe. So I say that to say the allyship is so crucial moving forward, that when I talk about the revolution, I talk about us being up in arms as we were in 2020. Now, I personally am not a protester because I have a gun and I shoot back. So that's not a space for me to be in. I'm not nonviolent. I would say I'm more of the Malcolm type. And
Same.
and that's just because I believe in the Constitution. The Constitution tells me I have the right to bear arms.
I feel like I protest in my own way. I don't be marching down the streets because I feel like a lot of those people are misguided and
But I think, but
doesn't
well,
change a lot. But I feel like I protest within the system. You know,
well,
like I feel like I fight white people like white people fight.
well. Let's not say misguided, right? Because we want to clarify when we say that.
I said
Because
some of those people. I'm not saying everybody who
yeah,
protests
yeah, that's what.
down the
Yeah, let's
street.
make sure. Yeah, let's make sure, because a lot of people, like the research team highlights, they are in their bubbles. You would be surprised how many everyday average Black people, white people, any type of people in America are just in their bubble and life is happening and they're just going on with the flow. They have no intentionality. They have no directive. So they're misguided because they don't have no guidance, right? One of the biggest things that is coming up in all of these discussions when we're talking about slavery and we're talking about American, because this is American history, right? There is no African American history without it being American history. So you have these kids who are misguided looking for the responsible people, and the responsible people are on TV acting crazy, jumping on judges, fighting in airports. I
I
mean,
saw that.
I didn't think that was real, y'all. I
it was
had to
real.
keep watching. I was like,
Totally real.
hey, my man got ups, okay? How swag. Somebody said, was it a trampoline in front of the bench?
But and so I say that to say, we want to thank Dr. King for leading with an example. But I, challenge every person to really look at his life. Look how he was very diverse in allowing himself to not be the smartest person in the room, to learn from other theologians, academia, everyday activists like Black women, because even down to Rosa Parks, a lot of people didn't know that Rosa had like 10 years in the game before King even showed up. Right. So we want to thank you for inspiring us. And I think, Twin, what you're really referring to is it feels as if MLK Day really is more of just like siblings day or best friends
Yeah.
day, right? It
Yeah,
feels
one of them
watered
made up
down. Yeah,
holidays.
it feels watered down, and but I would say, as someone who does actively do things, or I try to at least every year within the community, I love when I get the opportunity to be in a room full of greatness with Black leaders and Black excellence, and really just being in the same space together, it almost feels like you said, it feels watered down, but it feels like, our cookout or a picnic or the fish fry, right? It feels like that opportunity to get together under the name of King, but really, to see all the fine Black men
All right.
when they clean themselves up.
Stay
But
focused. Stay focused.
let's go ahead and, continue on with the segment. So, in the spirit of that, we think about what's really free, right? What's freedom? Because Jonathan Majors found out real quick, didn't he?
Baby.
He found out so fast.
And I'm personally upset because now they're gonna have to get a random Black man to portray Kang in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And now it's just going to be weird. Like, they had him all throughout the last Ant-Man, and I was excited. And so now they got to get some random Black man because you want to assault people. I am personally upset about that. And I hope that they don't just, because, white people try to act like all Black people look the same. And I just hope they don't try it with the character. But I know that is far from what's the actual case. I'm just saying, I'm personally offended by the character.
I would, in the spirit of the top of the year, I wouldn't be mad if they put Cat Williams in that bit.
Bruh.
Absolutely
That's
not.
why he ain't tall enough.
Absolutely, absolutely not.
Ain't nobody gonna believe it. But the way that interview went, he might as well have said that's his next role. Because the shit this nigga was talking, I was like, Cat, now come on, Cat. Now you could tell the truth without throwing in all the extra.
He told, I say the interview was like 80% true.
Man, this is my thing, and this is what I feel like people don't understand. How do we know? Because you threw in so many outrageous lies that now I just can't believe anything that you have to say.
But I think that's so. One, I'm a huge Cat fan. Cat Williams fan. Huge. Been loving him forever. And I didn't even know he was a genius. But then it started making sense. If you listen to it again and you listen to Kanye, they're identical. They're the same people. But geniuses operate on such a different scale of thought that they speak unworldly to us, right?
They speak unworldly because as someone who is genius adjacent, they be too smart for their own good. And a lot of times their intellect, it makes them end up in a delusional place. So they actually start believing some of that nonsense, and then they realize how much smarter they are than everybody else. So then they know they can just say whatever the fuck, and people gonna believe it because they dumb. And that's what I see in both Kanye and Cat Williams. They are intelligent people, very intelligent. But when I see like the average person's reaction to what they say, I be like, "Oh, y'all some sheeple, bruh. You think he's smart and he say big things and things that you can't intellectually understand, and all of a sudden everything he say is true. I know I decipher words, okay? I can comprehend and I can read through the lines. Ain't nobody read no damn 3,000 books as an 8-year-old every single day, bro. Like, just stop it. And that makes me feel like you just gaslighting me as an intellectual person. I don't appreciate you throwing outrageous lies at me and then expect me to think that anything else that you say is true. In rant.
I would like to end that segment on that rant. Research team, did you have final thoughts?
No, I just really love Cat Williams. That's all.
Yeah, me too. And so I would say in our love for Cat and Cat Williams, we believe. I wondered what was under his head, but I think it's dreads. I was curious the whole time.
Yeah, he has dreads now. Yeah, he has dreads now.
And
Not really sure how.
right. So I
Just
would
put that
say on a final thought with that is a lot of times all of you guys are listening and hearing and taking in so much content that you don't know what's true and what's not true. And it goes back to what we talked about at the top of the segment, which is you got to retool your mind. You got to put facts behind the things that are being, put it against something. Ask questions, right? Because if you catch your husband in the bed with another woman and he says he ain't cheating, girl, you either accept it for what it is because Black men don't cheat, or you leave. And with that, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. And we're back. So we have a segment where we talk about sports because it's what we do. We're a family that
Sports.
we are into sports. We love sports. We all watch sports for the most part, or it can be cute at sporting events. It holds a conversation. And I just want to shout out to them cowgirls. Thank you for doing what y'all do best, which is choke.
Nope.
And shout out to Jerry Jones, because if y'all choke again next year, I don't want to hear it. Also, shout out to Dan Quinn, incredible human being, the one of the most amazing coaches in the game, and to the Dolphins.
I'm jealous, Dan Quinn.
But Atlanta might get Belichick. Atlanta might get Harbaugh.
I just wanted to. I'm glad you brought that up, because I just wanted to say a very special you to the Falcons, okay?
Wow.
Because
Aren't you
every year, they break my heart. And I had to emotionally evolve from a Falcons fan, because after 28-3, I just really had to go to rehab. And then they finished 7-10, I think. Didn't make the playoffs. Fired that sorry ass coach. So let's just pray. Let's pray.
It's hilarious you say that, because I was having a debate about who has the most loyal fans out of the Cowboys, the Falcons, and the Dolphins, and the Bills, as far as emotions. And I gave y'all the cake. I'm like, because they still ain't recovered since that embarrassment.
I have not.
The whole city.
I stopped watching football for 2 years after that.
Right.
Like, I didn't watch nothing.
My gosh.
I didn't watch and P know how much I love football. I didn't watch no college football, no NFL, no X League, no cartoon football. Don't even mention the football to me. Okay. And now that I tried to come back, I'm finally making my way back. I finally made my way back like last year. Okay, when was that Super Bowl? I'm just now coming back around. And here y'all go with the foolishness again.
Right. Well, we're going into the playoffs, and I want to say a special shout out to Lamar Jackson and his mama for getting him that cash and earning his money. Okay. Because first of all, they tried my dog, and then he had to stand on business. So congratulations to Lamar Jackson. Hopefully he ends up winning the MVP. If he doesn't, y'all tripping. And then let's just go ahead and talk about quickly. All I want to do is ask Usher and vote. What happened? What happened?
What you mean?
What happened that we had to have a cover with the children and the white lady and if it's a digital cover, not print? I just want to, I really want to know.
What I miss, y'all?
Usher's release, we're getting ready for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is usually around Valentine's Day, either before or after. And Usher has been touting, along with Vogue, a picture of him with children in little league pads and this unseemly interesting white woman on the cover.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it in the chat.
I just pulled it up.
So I'm gonna leave it there though, because you know what I do know? I know that Usher's gonna give us an exceptional show. I have no doubt about that in my mind. I didn't see him in Vegas and I didn't see him in Paris, but I know that he will. I just want Usher or somebody, anybody to tell us what happened. And with that, I just want to really segue.
Who is this white lady?
Nobody
Carolyn,
knows.
her name is Carolyn Murphy. She's a model.
Okay,
Wow.
research team.
Why Vogue?
'Cause it's
But
Vogue. Let's just,
no.
it was already too much diversity on the page for them already.
What, the
So,
children? The
They met
children
their,
are diverse?
they said they met their quota.
Because I didn't understand the kids being on there either.
Woo!
Because y'all know how I feel about them kids. So
The babies. What? All right.
Y'all know how I feel.
Okay. All right. Speaking
Y'all know
of
how I feel.
babies and children and loving people for who they are, we're gonna go ahead and go to the 3LW
Wait,
segment.
music?
Oh,
she didn't
my bad.
want to. She don't want
We
to.
can just
No, it's
power
okay.
through. We can
It's
power through.
No, it's okay because I don't blame her, right? You got 21 Savage.
I listened to the album.
And I listened to it before I saw his teeth.
What?
Oh my god. I'ma just be quiet.
Now so for anyone listening, I'm a huge 21 Savage fan. And I'm a huge Metro Booming fan. I love those two rascals. And I didn't know he combed out his dreads and he has braids now. That'd be 21 Savage. I also didn't know he had a movie coming out with Glover starring and
That
Oscar.
documentary? Bruh.
I love it though. But
That is so funny to me.
I
Why?
did not know he had new teeth. And when I seen his teeth, I said, "Oh." I said, "Oh."
Teeth?
Oh, teeth. No, his teeth. Teeth.
What is teeth?
If you see the teeth, it would land with you because this is a safe space, okay? It's the teeth.
What is a teeth?
When I seen the teeth, I said, "Oh, okay, Daddy." Okay.
That is not what you said.
That's what I said. When I seen the teeth, I said, "Oh."
Oh. One time for what it is, P? The teats.
I can't. I need to see.
Go to his Instagram. Girl, he on there with the teats and his braids. I didn't know he combed out his dreads till I saw his video Red Drum. So congratulations to 21 Savage. American Dream. It is a beautiful piece of work. I've listened to the whole album back and forth and back, and it's exceptional. And the only thing you see the teeth. She sees the teeth.
Oh, I hate y'all.
Giving Ludacris.
No, it's giving. Luda ain't got no tats on his face. That's like those teeth better than Plies' teeth. Them teeth giving.
I feel like the teeth and the braid back is giving Luda a bit.
No, it's giving like It's giving. It's hard to explain. Like it's giving like he in class at a HBCU, but he ain't go. He might pledge Alpha.
Hey man, I gotta,
not with the
I don't know about
negative.
Alpha. He giving Q vibes.
It might be a Q.
He giving Q vibes.
But
I also have an unpopular opinion about 21. So.
But
Okay.
if you saw him on campus freshman year with the teeth, those teeth,
nah, I'd be like, I need to stay clear, far from you. Okay.
To the left.
Let me go to the other direction. Where's the computer building? Okay.
but hold on. Let's give a real big shout out to BG. Welcome home, baby. Welcome home.
BG came home?
Girl, bye. Get off the podcast. Get off the podcast.
Came home, bro.
He was his first couple songs, he still rap like he's stuck. He's stuck before he went to prison. But I heard something recently. He came out with Finesse 2 Times, and yeah, he sounds like he's adjusting to the new wave. But also free Young Thugger, free Slime. We miss you. That weight though, bruh. I like to see a clean. I like that you cleaning up. You know, them drugs keep you lean, so I get it. But it's free, Young Thug. And one thing I wanted to I'm not a Barb, and please, Barbs, don't come for me. But I thoroughly enjoyed Gag City. Now, apparently, people keep posting about how she goes to these shows and they insinuate, again, Barbs. I am not a Barb. I am not coming for your Barb, head Barb. I think Nicki Minaj is incredible. And she like half performs, like almost like she just be walking around. I'm like, girl, the girlies pay so much money to come see you, child. They gonna want you to damn near cartwheel and do a split. But Gag City was really fun before Pink Friday 2 came out. I actually love Gag City because I feel like that's where we are. We're in this big simulation of gagness. And that's just how I feel. But how did y'all feel about Nicki Minaj's album, or did you not listen? Barbs, crickets.
I did not listen yet.
I don't plan on listening.
I'll probably listen.
It's really good. One of my favorite songs she has with Tasha Cobbs, which is called Blessings. And, I think as someone who does not want to have children, and if I ever changed my mind, her talking about having her son Bear, really, like, you could see how motherhood really can change a person for the better. And I love that for her. She alludes to the fact that, she got pregnant, or it probably wasn't easy, and she finally got pregnant, and she was at a low place, at that time. This is what the music kind of alludes to. But in Blessings, she talks about there's a river that she goes to that fills her. And a lot of times, one thing that I think when we talk about the revolution is what Black women starting to get in the front of the line. And when I say to the front of the line, I'm talking about a community of global citizenship, where we are just slowly walking. Imagine a mass street, paveway road, and we're just walking. Everyone's standing still. We're walking. We're weaving in to get to the front. Because at the end of the day, what I love that I've been seeing from not only Michelle Obama, Angela Bassett, Niecy Nash, Nicki Minaj, obviously Beyonce. I'm sure I've seen Naomi Osaka, Serena Williams. I mean, I can keep going. Black women have something special about them. And as I'm on this podcast with other Black women, nobody knows how hard it is to be us and what it takes to be us and for us to occupy these spaces and to be great. And when she says that I go to a place that I know that it fills me, right? Like, even believing God takes you to that space, but it really comes from ourselves. Self-love, self-care, self-worth, self-build up, self-esteem, as Nishi Nash said. You have to thank yourself. So I just want to say thank you.
Word.
Thank you to every Black woman right now. And Black men, allow Black women to occupy in these spaces, give them room to breathe. White people, you need us. White people, you need us.
They know.
But they don't. They don't. Because the problem is with Black women, we're so beautiful and magical and amazing. That's why they think we're bewitching them. Them being they being those who think anti-Black. And with that, we are going to go right into our next segment.
Oh, we're just skipping over that we got to leave Diddy in 2023. We're just going to, okay.
We're skipping over because, I can't stand when Black men abuse Black women in any kind of way. That's why I can't listen to R. Kelly.
Nor can I.
I just, that's why I can't listen to Trey Songz.
Me, same.
I don't like victimization of Black women. That's why Jonathan Majors is forever canceled for me, because Megan Good is not Coretta Scott King. She is
Did he say
Megan.
that?
Yes, she is the Megan. She was Megan before Megan Thee Stallion. She is the Megan. So it's hard for me to talk about Diddy as a huge fan, a big consumer of all of his alcohol. It was funny because I was just talking to a Black man recently about Ciroc. And we were saying, in our 20s, like, how you remember Ciroc was everywhere. Everybody used to drink it.
Oh, yeah.
If I drank Ciroc right now, I'd die.
I can't even smell Ciroc because I drank it so much in college. And that's why I don't think we should skip over it, because I feel like Diddy has been such a huge part of Black culture.
Yeah.
For all of us.
Yeah.
And even though it's not shocking, it is, because I feel like we kind of all looked at Diddy as not like some savior or whatever, but as a successful Black man. You know what I'm saying? And just to hear that you got to that success by trampling on Black women is just disgusting for me. Like, I'm a Diddy song came on yesterday and I literally felt disgusted. Like, I love Diddy, and maybe it's just I used to love Diddy. He's a good Black businessman, an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt disgusted. I felt completely disgusted by that. And it really sent me into a place as someone who has been in an abusive situation with a person. It's just gross to me. And I don't think we should ignore it. And I don't think we should keep listening to Diddy as if that shit didn't happen. And I don't think we should just gloss over it as if, oh yeah, just another predator. Like that is egregious. That was egregious for me. Go ahead, research team. You had your hand up.
I was gonna say, with Diddy, R. Kelly, Trey Songz, me personally, I sometimes I don't understand, I guess, why it took so long, or why it is just like now like surfacing to the public, because I feel like it was known amongst the people and everybody was just like, I'm gonna just keep it hush. Also, I think it's something to say about cancel culture. Like, do these people not have an opportunity to, like, I guess, rectify their wrongs, or, come to some type of accountability, and not say start at a clean slate, but, how do they, I guess, like, redeem themselves?
To me, you have an opportunity to redeem yourself if you're the one who held yourself accountable and came clean. Not because somebody outed you and you had to pay them and now your world's coming crumbling down. Because to me, it starts to feel disingenuous. You did not come out and say, you know what, I have been abusive or whatever in the past, even after getting caught. I have been abusive or whatever in the past. I have taken these notions to move forward and be a better person and heal, and I wish to make it better for generations or whatever. You're not even saying that. You saying it didn't happen and basically defending yourself. That's not taking accountability for me, and being caught and losing, major promos and money does not equal taking accountability to me. And as egregious as the things are against Diddy, I'm not sure that there is any coming back for me from him.
P.
No, it's not. And that's the part I think that you can't even. I think that's what we want to look for, which is a level of saying, I did do this, but the mission is paying, right? Because if you never did it, you couldn't. There is evidence enough there. But the bigger thing is, why do we feel the need to be so rapey? Really? I mean, we know it's around control.
I don't know. I do know. I don't know, and I do know, and I'm with you, P. Like, every time I hear stuff like this, I'm like, but why? But it's about control. It's literally just about control. And these people will they get control, and then they will do anything to keep it and have control over other people. Like, it's sick.
Right. But then, I mean, I think a lot of it, as someone that's worked in or worked for high profile people, I think there's also this level of undeniability or deniability, right? Because the biggest thing that I took away was he never thought nobody would believe this. Like, there's no way. And then also though, like, no way, but then also like, way. Like, yeah, I'm into it, right? Because sexual exploration, right? Like, he obviously likes men. And that's a whole bigger conversation around gender identity and sexual identity, right? Like, if he had came up, imagine now if we got Diddy now versus in the 90s or the 80s, whatever old he is, it would be completely different. He could exist in this space and his sexuality wouldn't have been questioned, and maybe he wouldn't have turned it into something so dark and disrespectful.
And then I think it's like that, because nobody around you is saying anything, and because it becomes normal around you, it's like a cult. No, I think you really start to believe, well, we just live in this different world and this is how things are. And then it's until someone actually speaks up to people on the outside who are like, what the going on? Then it's like, oh, this is outrageous. And I really downplayed how horrible this environment was around me, because it was just normalized and nobody was saying anything.
But I think that, so let's back up for a second and wrap up this, our thoughts, which is one, it is believable that they were in an alternate universe or an alternate reality because most people live in alternate realities. It goes back to what we're saying, where if we're billions of citizens on the same road walking towards some type of light, Black women are slowly pushing themselves to the forefront and everyone else is just staring at the sun. And he was the sun, right? So I think it's fair to say he did live in an alternate universe and reality where things were different. And you pair that with drugs, real drugs, like y'all know how many times I talk about, like, I'm curious of like what it would be like. Have I done hard drugs? Absolutely not. Would I try it? Maybe. But I've never, even being in those spaces, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go where y'all going. I don't want to get on that bus. I want to stay on the bus that can get me home. And I haven't been, I had a good time. And, I can say, oh my God, Diddy is so sexy. I had a wonderful time. Him and Miami are cute. Now you've ruined it, right? Like, you had to just go and like, but more importantly, like, it's, because even when you think about what it means you doing something someone has not consented to. And more importantly, they have expressed a no. And 9 times out of 10, when someone's on a drug, alcohol can be included in that, right? Because I do not want anyone to hear this and think that we are being soft or dismissive about sexual violence and sexual abuse, right? But I just feel like in that industry itself, there's some wild things are happening. And, like the great prophet Cat Williams said, there are things you just would not believe that are happening, that are people in that circle are making sure that it never comes out. And you can either choose to believe it or not. Why it took her a long time to bring it to the forefront as a survivor of any type of sexual abuse or any type of abuse, you don't know, right? And so yeah, I think we all can come to the same conclusion, which is it's just unfortunate that Black men tend to engage in behavior, but most men are engaging in behavior, right?
That's the sad part.
And I think that's just because that goes back to a bigger idea of a woman and her autonomy over her body.
Yeah.
And if he believed that he owned her body and any other woman that ever was in his presence, then it was his. And he could do whatever he wanted to do with it.
Yeah.
And so I think we can walk away with, that understanding, but also sadness, but not sadness, because please stop people in 2024. And with that, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. And all right, we're back. And for our next segment, we have 3LWB, Living, Learning, and Loving While Black. If the title isn't soothing enough to you, this segment focuses on Black love, Black family, dynamic structure, Black history, current and old, Black education, all of the banned books, and more.
So it's no secret that I am the cousin that is like pro Black love and just loving wild Black and being Black and in love and just all that. So I wanted to kind of talk to you ladies today about DDG and Miss Halle Bailey, Miss Little Mermaid, Miss What was she in The Color Purple? I forgot. But they just had their first child, Halo. He seems to be cute from the hand pictures and the feet pictures that I've seen thus far. And it's very interesting how I think there's like early 20s, not even mid 20s yet. But it's very interesting to see others' reactions on their specific relationship and how people are congratulatory and some people are just devastated. So, wanted to get y'all's thoughts
I
on
don't like
baby
it.
Halo. Okay, alrighty.
What's your thoughts, research team?
One, I'm not gonna say I don't like it because I think because they sit in a different tax bracket, people operate from a different space, and they like it's an ongoing thing where people of a certain stature have children and may not fall underneath the traditional umbrella of, hey, let's get married first and then have the kid. Because I think the marriage to some people may be a bigger commitment or a tie than actually having a child. So at this point, everybody grown, do what you do.
I feel like as a 35-year-old woman looking back on my early 20s self and how many foolish people I attached myself to. I think regardless of the tax bracket, a person making a song about how I'm insecure and how that made me feel terrible because when you was kissing that dude on the screen and when you suggested I shouldn't take roles with other men because you're jealous, that's not giving emotional well-being to me, and it's definitely not giving I should attach myself to the rest of life by having a baby with this person. But more power to them. If they like it, I love it because that ain't got with me. But I'm just saying, I would not. From an older woman, the auntie's point of view, she need to kick that dude to the curb. But anyway, what you think, P?
I think she likes it, and I love it. That's all I got.
Well, there it is.
I mean, hopefully, I just I just really am not a fan of bringing babies into not ideal situations. And so I don't be all like, oh, yes, baby, when the relationship was already looking sus to me. That's all. That's just how I be.
But this relationships for most people are sus.
A lot of
I mean, true. That's why it's a lot of unwell people out here.
But so I say that to say that I like it. She likes it. I love it. But also the child is innocent, right? They have money, for the most part. And I really feel like a lot of people, because of social media and how we are connected to everyone at the same time, but not connected and feel isolated, I feel like people who have babies now really are having their friends. They're like having their friends. Like they're having the friend that they want.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not for it because I just don't want to be around my friends like that all the time.
Speaking of friends that are good for you, this relationship was very awkward from conception. Megan Good and Jonathan Majors. I don't understand what type of I don't know, random let's look through the phone book of black men, Hollywood. Okay, that's a good match for me. I don't understand their relationship, and that's fine. It's a very odd pairing just in general. Like just
Why do
it's
you
odd
think
to me.
that?
Yeah, it's definitely giving, sis, are you under duress? Because when I saw them walking in the courtroom, I was like, huh? You okay?
Why are y'all surprised?
You good, sis?
Why are y'all surprised?
Why are you not surprised?
Me?
Yes.
Y'all remember the guy last one she was with?
Yes. So I guess I
pastor,
was
right?
giving her a bit more, you know, I've learned and I've grown and I've gained wisdom and I'm
Mm-mm,
gonna do better. I guess that was my assumption.
mm-mm.
Correct. I didn't think she was gonna go to this like extreme. It's like their publicists were like, "Hey, we got a thing over here," and her publicist like, "Hey, I got a thing over here. Oh, let's do it together." And it's just like, what does y'all signed the contract for? How many months is this gonna last?
Well, research team, as someone that's, bringing Black love to the forefront, how much do you think about codependency? Mm.
Mm.
And
Mm,
they were codependent in that preacher wife relationship till she wasn't gonna have no kids.
okay, so
Mm.
with her previous relationship, they both messed up because from personal experience, you can't go either you're going to have a child or you're not. And that's one of those conversations that you have kind of upfront soon in the relationship, and for you to hope, wish, and pray that somebody changes their heart or just like that's delusional to me. Like you walked in knowing that this person was like, nah, I'm not really, that's not a goal of mine. I'm really focused on X, Y, and Z parts of my career, or I don't really, fit in that framework. And you still 10 toes down about them. That's crazy for both people, but mostly the person who wanted the kid and thought the person who didn't want the kid was going to change their mind.
It happens every day, babe.
Oh, I agree. I agree that it happens every day. It's still delusional though. Wow.
Yeah, it's a
Reckless.
lot of I've learned that it's a lot of delusional people out there, which is it's crazy. Like they
Oh,
really live in
oh,
a whole nother place.
shout out to Jeezy. Delusional, 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 delusional. Oh, sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm a big Jeezy fan. Jeezy, why don't you just holler at your girl? You need a girl like me.
He free now.
I wasn't gonna bring that up. I don't think the ink has dried on that. It's some other issues happening.
Over.
But
Going after your man,
I
girl.
I digress. On a positive spin the block note, shout out to Ashanti and Nelly still going
Is it
strong.
positive?
Um for some people it may be positive, rekindling. They look like they're truly 10 toes down. I don't know if you saw their New Year's Eve countdown because she's in Australia on a Juicy Fest tour thing. So they couldn't be together in person, but he called her and they, was vibing together and shared a moment for all of us to see publicly yet again in real time. So shout out to that Black love.
I just be wondering sometimes if spinning the block is, a good thing to do. But if they like it, I love it. Hopefully it'll be better around this time for them. I mean, they cute together or whatever.
I mean, he's showing all his teeth, so at least from his end, I know he's happy. He's excited. P.
Well, the man always gonna be excited,
His
especially
last relationship,
the
he looked
one
real.
depressed.
I mean, he did not look excited at all.
He
He
still had Ashanti on the mind. He want
that
that
was the one who got away.
Probably. I mean, look
And
at
that
her.
she didn't always look like that though, but yes.
I mean, she always been fine though.
Uh,
She has.
Sideburns have been questionable, but yes.
She has. Let's
Um,
take a break. I think P
Did
had
y'all say the sideburns were questionable? That's wild.
what?
I did.
She did say that shit.
The sideburns? Oh, that's what you said. Wow.
She ain't catch it. Yeah. Cause you said she's been fine. I was like the sideburns.
Wow.
It's been hit or miss a couple videos. That's fine. I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry, P.
Nah. Continue on.
I think for me, this relationship that I'm about to speak on, it hits different. It cuts different. It's definitely a gut punch for me personally. Um, Tiana Taylor, Iman Shumpert, get a divorce. I mean, I don't like to put people as relationship goals or anything like that because I don't think they should be goals or like humans should be goals. But I will say I love the way that they loved each other and really rocked with each other from like a public facing perspective. However, I don't know what's happening now because I thought it was gonna be amicable, but it's getting a little.
Are you for real right now? Didn't he?
What happened?
He had her working like she a mule. Girl, stop.
Wait,
I don't
what?
even want to talk about this no further. Hell
Wait,
nah. We
how
not
did-
talking about this no more.
How was it
No.
getting ugly?
No, that's what's coming out. Is she tried to leave the situation amicably, and the truth came out that she was out here working as a mule.
You mean a slave?
A drug mule?
A real slave.
A
He
slave.
didn't want to work.
So let's
dumb.
just put it out there. It's coming out now that she, made that statement on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, social media, that they are getting a divorce, they separating, they still, 10 toes down, that's her best friend, blah, 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 they're going to co-parent, all that jazz. Now it's coming out in court documents, leaked to the public or whatever. Allegedly, he hasn't been a good father. He smokes too much. He put the babies in a Uber by themselves while he ordered him a separate car. It's getting like messy, mess. So I don't. It's just
Well,
another realization that, hey, everything again is not always what it seems, and these are real people going through real life things, no matter how many commas are in their net worth.
everything that shimmers ain't gold. Well, so he was a bum. Shouldn't be shocked.
Bum, de bum, 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 bum. I can't stand
Well,
bums.
good riddance.
Bums just
Especially not a man.
I mean,
bums.
he has his own podcast with his brother.
Girl, stop. Didn't I just tell you? I don't want to talk about that bum no more.
He was supposed to be doing that, like that house husband situation.
No, man. Bum.
Taking care of the kids while your wife go out there and get it and be supportive.
No, he's a bum. Bum diddy bum 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 bum.
Mm.
Bitty bitty bum bum. Like that. Bum.
Well,
Speaking of, I'm sorry, go ahead, twin.
no, go ahead. I'm done.
I was gonna say, speaking of bums and people not wanting to work and not getting paid, I just want to highlight how messed up white Hollywood is for not only women, but specifically directly to how Hollywood underpays. Did I mention underpays Black entertainers, Black women? When Taraji made such an emotional case about how her check is not really her check and how many times it gets divided and who she has to pay, I didn't realize it broke down like that, which made me think about when Monique went on her rants about how Netflix didn't want to pay her what they should have paid her or her worth. It's kind of like an ongoing issue, bitter pill to swallow. It's like we are still like we've come so far, but it's just like, dang, we have so much further to go. When will like we make that bridge, or when will it connect? When will the gap close?
Well, unfortunately, I think it's not only a Hollywood issue. And I think it goes back to what we were kind of talking about Black History Month. Like, I feel like we've kind of stopped aggressively pushing for what we desire. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a part of us who has kind of just accepted and is just now realizing that I should and could be getting paid more. And speaking from my own experience and me like having to coach Black people in business, a lot of times we be afraid to demand more, and even if we be knowing that we're being paid significantly less than our counterpart, we be like, well, I mean, they gonna fire me. No, they ain't. Girl, they ain't. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's happening with these people in Hollywood, but I'm just saying I do feel like the wage gap in general between Black women and everybody else is ridiculous. And to change it, I feel like we're gonna have to take a stand and like we're gonna have to fight for what we're owed,
I agree. It just sucks that it's like this continuous thing
It is.
for Black women, as if there aren't already enough hardships in the spaces that we work in, whether it's hair color, nail length, dialect tone. It's just like, can we get the coins correct and then put everything else up for debate? Can we get the coins correct?
But y'all want the coins, but they don't even acknowledge the greatness that is to be Black. We are the seasoning. We are the salt. We are the magic. So if they deny the magic, the salt, the seasoning by underpaying us, right? We never are going to have the courage, unlike Taraji is now, which is great, to advocate for ourselves.
Yep.
But Oprah became Oprah because Oprah created her own thing.
Correct.
It didn't come, she allied to some degree to gain success. So Black Hollywood still needs white Hollywood to be in those spaces, right? Because look at Quinta.
Yeah.
Crying up there. I wouldn't be crying at them people's show. I love Quinta, by the way. But I just pop off every time. Like, why is it 42 years? 42 years.
I always think about if I was able to get up on that stage, man,
Lord.
I would drag everybody for filth. Okay. They would have to drag me off that stage. I wouldn't be saying no thank you. No. And let me tell you how y'all had me up in 2011. Okay.
Oh Lord. And that's why you're not up there as of yet. I think it's something to be said about the balance and the humility that we have to take because of circumstances. But I do agree with you, P. I don't think I would necessarily be crying. Like, I don't know if that would be my first emotion, because again, these are like the Emmys was Blackish or Black adjacent this year, but realistically that's not for us. The Oscars are not for us. Like, those are not our cultural awards. Like, we don't, that's not for us. So I don't know. I would be excited because that would, like, my worth or my asking price can go up now because I have an Emmy, but
like, why can't Black people? And this is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And this is, I'm going to talk about this in my segment for Black History Month, 40 Acres and a Mule. Why can't we create our own Black Emmys? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going back to what P said, creating our own space. I don't understand why we're still trying to fit into these white spaces when we have the talent to create our own. That's how I feel.
Sad story.
But shout out to Quinta Brunson.
Yes.
Big shout out to Niecy Nash Betts, heavy on the bet. Her speech was inspiring. My favorite part or parts was one, mom, look, I did it, or I made it. I was just happy that her mom could see, like, everybody doesn't get to see their child make it to that successful moment or that peak. Like, they see the hard work. What happened?
Go ahead.
Okay. They don't get to
hit me. Okay.
Oh, okay. They don't get to see that the highest pinnacle of their child. They get to see the back end, like the work that you're putting in to get to that spot, but they may not get to see you, win it. So that part, and then when she was like, I'm finna thank myself, and I was like, yes, please.
Period, Pooh.
People know, like, yeah, thank you, but really, I'm out here. It was me. I'm me, heavy on the me. So I really like that. It was giving brag, confident, cocky, like all of that, but in good ways. So shout out to Niecy Nash Betts for that speech.
I want to shout out to, I can't remember the girl's name. It's the Black girl on the show called The Bear, which I just recently binged. Amazing show, phenomenal, wonderful. She's amazing on there. Her character is kind of annoying, which lets you know that she's playing her part well. And I saw a still picture of her and her parents at the Emmys, and it almost made me cry because it reminded me of me and my parents. And like you just said about Niecy Nash, it was just so nice to see her and her parents enjoy that moment. So, and congrats, girl, well deserved, because I love that show.
I haven't watched it yet, but I will go ahead and support.
Me neither.
It's so good. It's so good.
Where can I watch it again, twin?
Oh, I'm gonna get back to you on that. Let me check right quick.
Probably one of your streaming services. Just
Probably
give me the
Hulu.
login.
Hulu, maybe.
You heard me? Just give me.
I want to say Hulu.
Oh, I got that. I don't need the login. I got that.
Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Okay, I got Hulu. I don't need the login. Appreciate it.
It's wonderful. Ayo Edebiri.
I want to try to say her name because I was gonna sound worse.
That's her name.
Ayo, if we say it wrong, we apologize.
And the other Black dude, shout out to him. I like the other Black dude and Hispanic lady on there. All the minorities on there, just wonderful.
Last but not least, want to give a special shout out to the cast of Martin. It's a staple in Black culture.
R.I.P.
Like
Tommy.
Yes, R.I.P. I love how they have his picture or had his picture on the table. Did he come to one of the birthday parties?
And I was gonna say Tommy is our family adjacent because he is our cousin's bestie, and I used to see him quite frequently. What a lovely soul. He was like a just tall, giant, cuddly bear.
So sweet.
So sweet. What a sweet person. Like I fit my heart jolted when we found out that he passed away. So RIP to him and his family. I hope they doing well. He had a lovely family too. So shout out to Tommy, man. What a great person.
It's crazy. When I met him through our cousin, I didn't have a job. That's all I gotta say about that. That's all that really happened. He said, "You ain't got no job." And I guess he thought I was trying to be funny, but I didn't really watch Martin like that.
Like really, I didn't have
No, I really
I didn't have
I really don't have a job.
I really don't have a job. And he was just like, oh. And he just thought it was the funniest thing. So RP to Tommy, we love you.
We love you.
Mhm.
And I think that is a good segue to end on Shot O'Clock. It's a segment where we don't have to do it every single time, but if we have something special or important or effed up that we want to take a shot to, we're going to do that. And so today, I'm going to take a shot to my mom. Today, we're recording on the 18th, and she passed on January 16th, 2022. So I just want to say, love you, Mom, and we'll see you again.
Take a shot for me. Oh,
Yes.
oh.
I'm gonna do apple cider vinegar shot because that's what we're on right now.
That counts. I did
Okay.
wine. I did a sip of wine. So
I'm taking shots of Herbal Gold Bears. Num 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 num.
okay, that counts as well. Take a shot of whatever you please. And thank you for joining us, y'all.
Thank you for joining us. And how about y'all this year? Try to be intentional. Come out of your bubbles. Wake up. It's 2024. Trump is alive and well. The aliens are about to beam down.
For real.
Oh my god.
Stay woke.
Well, don't stay woke. That's a weaponized word. Stay awake. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Stay aware.
It's the first of the month. It's not, but you know what we're trying to tell y'all. Just come alive. Thank you again for joining us on this wonderful episode. Again, you can see us, reach us, talk to us, holler at us, and your comments, your feedback, your love to Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or by email. Twitter at Call Your Cousins. That's CALLYOURCOUSINS. Instagram at Call Your Cousins Pod. That's the same. CALLYOURCOUSINS YouTube. CALLYOURCOUSINS. And at email, callyourcousinspod@gmail.com. And again, welcome to the podcast. We're happy to have you here. A-Dub, holla at us. Miss you, cuz. But we'll see you next time. Peace.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.